Just don't look down the camera, look at me. Yep. You can look anywhere except down that camera.
Very handsome man, to look towards him.
We're all happy that plane's... Give it a second. Okay. Maria, tell us, I mean, there's a lot of anger out here.
Well, there is a lot of anger out, both in the Aerotropolis core and Wainamatta South Creek precinct, because firstly, the announcement that came today, I feel, is to placate and to have some positivity shed on the government where there is no positivity to be had. They have zoned people in our area as environmental and recreational. They have no definition for environmental and recreational. They don't want to acquire it, so it even goes further than the horrible acquisition process. They do not want to acquire environmental and recreational. They have rendered all the people in the ENR zone as sterile. They've landlocked them. They've taken away their super. They've taken away their future. In some cases, they've taken away their ability to go into care. And I can give you examples of that if you wish later on. Now, Stuart Ayres...
Some of these people have lived here all their lives.
Exactly. And Stuart Ayres got up today and he actually said, we have consulted with the people who are ENR. He has not consulted with anybody. We have a body that is called the Community Liaison Group, CLG. We meet monthly on the last Tuesday. It is a government body through the planning partnership, and yet they even failed to tell us there was a submission in to name our community. Yet Stuart Ayres got up and said there was community consultation. I don't know which community they consulted, but it definitely wasn't ours. We have put in 600 submissions in the first law. Out of that 600 submissions, we got one paragraph in the WASP, that's the latest document, and then October last year, everything that we could have done on our properties, we can't. All the ENR can no longer build a granny flat for aging parents. You can't build a granny flat to help your emerging children to stand on their own 2 feet. You can't put in a pool. If your horse dies, you can't replace it. They tell us we have existing land use rights, yet when the documentation came out under ENR, it says possible to do on ENR, nothing.
What would you like to see done now? I mean, obviously the airport's coming, but...
We are not against the airport. We are not against parklands. The government has put out a perception that these residents are against parklands. We are not against parklands. But if you want parkland, buy it at best use price, like you would buy a park. Instead, they are trying to enact, we don't know this is factual just yet, but they have amended the Environmental Act and are trying to enact the Environmental Act so as to acquire us under the Environmental Act at $20 to $80 a metre square, when next door can be enterprise. We are not against parklands. We are not against the parkland city. We are not against the airport. We are not against progress. We know it is coming. That is a battle that has been fought and lost. We are not against that. What we are against is the injustice. We want fair and just treatment for all the residents of all the Aerotropolis, no matter where they be, right? So if you want the environmental and recreational space, purchase it at best use price,
so
for at least the 1 in 100. Maybe the high flood zone, maybe that can be purchased at a reduced price, but the 1 in 100 is fully developable like the rest of New South Wales. It is useless for you to tell me that I'm 1 in 100, Stuart Ayres, and I'm in a high flood risk. If I was in a high flood risk, Stuart, Penrith would be dead and your electorate would not exist.
It was fair enough to sell the land originally.
If they sold it originally at RU4, which is what most of us bought under,
That's right.
then you buy it. And why did they rezone environmental and recreational before purchase? That leaves people in Thompson's Creek standing on a knife edge because they don't know what they are going to be bought under. That leaves people here sterilised and landlocked. All of that creek that you can see before you, that creek there, all the people there are worthless. Everything is gone. Our security is gone. How would people who live on the northern beaches like for the government to come in and go, oh well, we consider your house environmental and recreational, we're going to demolish it and leave it up to nature to rebuild, and we're going to pay you at environmental rates. They wouldn't stand for it in Rob Stokes' electorate. We're not going to stand for it here, and we will be a thorn in their side, and we will be a thorn in their side in the next election. So don't you dare for 1 minute think that you are safe. Stuart Ayres will go, Tanya Davies will go, and Peter Sidgreaves will go.
Well spoken. I think I wouldn't want to go up against you.